Fire and Rain. Fire and Rain is one of Taylor's most iconic and enduring songs. Released as the second single from his 1970 album, Sweet Baby James, the song is not only celebrated for its beautiful melody and Taylor's distinctive vocal style, but also for its deeply personal and introspective lyrics. It's become a classic in the singer-songwriter genre and is often considered one of the greatest songs of all time. The song touches upon themes of loss, love, despair, and self-reflection. He wrote Fire and Rain during a turbulent period in his life, and this context adds depth and poignancy to the song's meaning. In terms of its lyrics, Fire and Rain can be broken down into several key themes. Loss and grief. The song opens with the line, "Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone." This immediately sets the tone of the song as one of loss and grief. Taylor's grappling with the death of a close friend or loved one, and the emotions associated with that loss are palpable throughout the song. The lyrics also touch upon Taylor's personal struggles, as he sings about times when he can't find a friend, and how he's seen lonely times. This hints at his own battles with depression and addiction. More on that in a moment. The chorus of the song contains the lines, "I've seen fire, and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end." These lines reflect a sense of longing and regret, as Taylor looks back on times, both good and bad. The story behind the song's creation adds another layer of depth to its meaning. James Taylor checked himself into a psychiatric hospital in 1968 to deal with his struggles with depression and addiction. It was during his stay in rehab that he wrote Fire and Rain. The song became a way for him to process his emotions and experiences during that challenging period in his life. The fire in the song is often interpreted as a reference to the intense emotional pain he was going through, while the rain represents the cleansing and healing process he was undergoing in rehab. In interviews, James Taylor has spoken about the song's autobiographical nature and its connection to his personal experiences. He has mentioned that the first verse is about the suicide of his childhood friend, Suzanne Schnerr, while the second verse deals with his struggles with addiction and the emotional toll it took on him. In a 1972 interview with Rolling Stone magazine, Taylor discussed the song and its genesis, saying, "Fire and Rain has 3 verses. The first verse is about my reactions to the death of a friend." Taylor explained that the second verse was about having the monkey on his back of addiction. He said that the line, "Won't you look down upon me, Jesus," was, quote, "an expression of my desperation in trying to get through the time when my body was aching, and the time was at hand when I had to do it." Said James of the third verse, it, quote, "refers to my recuperation, beating the heroin addiction in Austin Riggs, which lasted about 5 months. And the flying machine and pieces on the ground is not a plane crash, as many people have always assumed. It's actually a reference to the end of his band, which was called The Flying Machine." Early life. James Taylor's early life was marked by both privilege and hardship. He was born March 12, 1948 in Boston, into a well-off and well-educated family. His father, Isaac M. Taylor, was a physician, and his mother, Gertrude Woodard Taylor, was an aspiring opera singer. They lived in a comfortable suburban setting in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, for most of James's childhood. From a young age, James showed a strong interest in music. He began singing and playing the cello early on. His family recognized his talent and encouraged his musical pursuits. His father, in particular, played a significant role in fostering James's early musical education. Despite their privileged background, the Taylor family faced internal struggles, which would have a lasting impact on James's life. One of the most significant was his father's battle with alcoholism. Isaac's drinking problem caused turmoil within the family. The tension and instability caused by his father's addiction had a profound effect on James and his siblings. He contributed to James's own struggles with substance abuse and depression later in life, which he candidly addressed in his music. James Taylor's interest in music continued to grow, and he began performing in local bands. During his teen years, he was sent to various boarding schools, and even to that psychiatric hospital during his adolescence, due to his struggles with depression and addiction. In 1966, at age 18, he moved to New York City to pursue a career in music. He signed with Apple Records and released his eponymous debut album in 1968. But it received limited success. It was during this period that his struggles with substance abuse escalated, leading to his eventual stay in a psychiatric hospital and the writing of his iconic song, Fire and Rain. Struggles with addiction. The music scene of the 60s and 70s was notorious for its drug culture, and Taylor became ensnared in this environment. Despite his hospitalization, his addiction problems persisted. He continued to abuse drugs and alcohol. Through the early 70s, his substance abuse had a detrimental effect on his personal life and relationships, including his marriage to Carly Simon, which ended in divorce in 1983. In the mid-80s, he reached a turning point. He decided to confront his addiction issues and seek help. He checked himself into a rehab center and began the process of recovery. He made a commitment to sobriety and started attending Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. Taylor's journey to recovery marked a significant turning point in his life. He embraced the sober lifestyle and began rebuilding his personal life and career. His music during this period reflected his newfound clarity and sobriety. Albums like That's Why I'm Here and Never Die Young featured songs that touched on themes of recovery and personal growth. James has been open about his struggles with addiction and has used his platform to raise awareness about the challenges of substance abuse. He's been an advocate for addiction recovery and has encouraged others to seek help and support. James Taylor's journey through addiction and recovery is a testament to the strength of the human spirit and power of rehabilitation. His experiences have not only influenced his music, but have also inspired others facing similar challenges to seek help and embrace sobriety. Taylor's story serves as a reminder that recovery is possible, even in the face of profound struggles. Musical legacy. His musical career has been marked by numerous accomplishments. Among his most significant achievements are his multiple Grammy Awards, including the prestigious Grammy Award for Album of the Year in 1971 for his album that included his iconic song, Fire and Rain. Taylor's signature blend of folk rock and pop music has resonated with audiences for decades, earning him a devoted fan base and critical acclaim. His induction into both the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Songwriters Hall of Fame further solidify his status as a musical legend. With over 100 million records sold worldwide and timeless hits like You've Got a Friend, Carolina in My Mind, and Sweet Baby James, James Taylor's enduring influence and contributions to music continue to be celebrated and cherished by generations of listeners.